hello there, Twitch chat. Welcome to SpeedGaming. We are doing a league, a Lincoln Pass Randomizer League Season 4 race here between Team Hime and I don't know how to pronounce it. TanwirFarid, Allstars Germany. I don't know how to pronounce it. Hard. But our riders are Dragon Strike and Diego, and the mode is Casual Boots. The fad is over. My comms right here.
I'm doing fine, although you seem to cut out a bit, or
I cut out. I'm cutting out. What?
You weren't really clear the last few words, so I had to guess a bit what you were saying. But yeah.
Should I start over?
No, I think
hello,
we got that.
SpeedGaming. Welcome to. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it can sound way better now. So I hope we can now hear what incredibly insightful things you can say throughout this race. As you said, casual boots.
Yes,
so
the fad is over. I just made that up. The fad is over.
Yeah. But yeah, we have boot start with casual boots in the standard seat, so yeah. Tend to be quite a bit faster seats, and looks like Tito is already off, and Dragon Strike now too. I'll go with some insight. Red mail is for cowards. Our runners probably should not need that, and we start with a bottle filled with a good bee. Makes out.
Yeah, could be very nice. Depending on what our money situation is like, we may end up selling that just to get some cash in Kakariko. But since we're starting with a sword, we're definitely not going to need the bee to kill things.
In a normal standard mode, where we would have a randomized starting weapon, that bee could be a potential thing to use maybe for Mini Moldom Cave if we just get a Cane of Burner and have to burn through all of our magic or stuff like that. Yeah, with the sword we have already quite the versatile weapon, so no need to worry about that.
Yeah, this is usually like one of the most comfortable weapons to have, especially if you come from a speedrunning background, because you know that's the normal weapon you have for the escape.
And even without its speedrunning background, having a sword available that does not deplete or needs magic to be used, that can run out, that's certainly a nice thing.
Well, so much for needing money.
So they now have enough to buy off the bottle vendor item and a pack of 10 bombs. They do not find any in Kakariko, which is rare but has happened. So they don't have to worry about that. Of course, with the boots we can always just go to the fortune teller house. There to the left is a bonkable rock that always drops a bomb. You do that, so no need to buy bombs.
That's a good knowledge thing to remember.
Yeah. Definitely for this mode a good thing to remember, because you do not need to farm bombs for back of escape. You can use the bonk for that, but for Kakariko you would at least like to find one, ideally 2 bombs. Dragon found now 3.
3, yeah. That'll do it. Frickin' standard start. Standard start. It irks me because you always find bombs, except for when you don't. But you always do.
I mean, you always find them if you don't need them, especially in casual boots. But when you just do a normal standard without the random weapon, surprisingly you won't find bombs that often, because then you would actually need them sometimes.
someone remind me what casual boots is. Casual boots is just the name we have for this game mode. Casual is our terminology to describe a standard start seed where we have to save Zelda before we can play the game, where you begin with a sword already equipped. And then boots just meaning that we also started with the boots. So sword start, boot start, standard. It's kind of a misnomer to call it casual, you know, because usually you describe things as being casual when they're super easy. But I don't think standard start is any easier than any other start, honestly.
No, and it's naming relic from SRL times where the preset for standard with the sword was casual or named casual, so that terminology was kept from that. And what our runners like to keep also is that half magic. That certainly will come in handy later when we get to dungeons like Ice Palace or maybe Turtle Rock, where we need to fight bosses using items that need magic.
Half magic and 3 bombs? Easy mode. Oh, I'm sorry, 6 bombs. Even better.
Important thing to note there, we picked up the map in back of escape, so Sanctuary Chest has actually an item. We need to pick that up. Sometimes you can skip it if it's just a map and you paid attention. Not today.
My go-to is to never pay attention and always open it.
Yeah. Can lose you 4 seconds.
Yeah, at worst, I lose a couple seconds. But usually it's a break-even moment.
Yeah. It's the safe thing, and it's maybe 4 or 5 seconds you need to walk around there. Walk in a specific way to the chest, and then have that chest open animation, which is 2-3 seconds.
I think the biggest reward, though, is the peace of mind. Like, even if I got the map, at least I know for sure, 100% it was the map. I don't have to rely on actually using my brain.
That is definitely worth something. I can attest to that from personal experience. I mean, there were instances where I was 105% sure that it was the map and sank chest, and still worried each time I left the sank without opening the chest.
Alright, so we got arrows from the tier 2 pole, magic from the bush crab, and a shield on lumberjack. And it looks like Dragon Strike skipped the lumberjack check.
That is interesting. Most of the runners...
I don't really get that. Like with boot start, like when else are you gonna do it?
I mean, there is still the chance when you head up the mountain with the glove that you can just dash up there, which might be a little bit more efficient. If you have to do it, there's a chance you can route it in with bumper ledge later if you have the mirror. So there are chances to get it checked later, but it is definitely a more interesting decision as, say, in an open seat, since we already have the boots, we already have a sword, so we have half the things we need for Aga to be in logic, or for Lumberjack to be in logic already, right at the start. So it is just a bit more likely that there's something on Lumberjack. But I personally...
Today it's gonna be like a 20-second time save, not skipping it, or not doing it right now.
And that is a time save that can matter in the end, as Tato shows us here that there was a bow in Blind's hideout. Pretty sure Dragon also got that. But early bow with Crystal Eastern, always nice. Don't have to worry about that potential early Eastern dip if you cannot finish Eastern. All the more so if it's Crystal.
And a mushroom on bottle merchant as well. typically you'll turn in the mushroom like super fast. Early game fetch quests always seem to have a lot more value than normal.
Yeah. Personally, in my experience is that if you find a fetch quest pre-Dark World access, it does tend to lead to something, or at least pretty often, especially with the mushroom. Tito's shown us here how to get the money from the bottle vendor. You have to be a bit careful with releasing the bee, because if you are walking too far to the right and have that statue on screen, the bee actually likes to try attack that statue instead of flying over to the bottle vendor. Can be a bit annoying. Yeah. That means Tito has already Zora money if he decides to do maybe a fake flipper or water walk.
Yeah, which honestly, like I'm personally, I'm not a big fan of early play to the Zora area. You don't have flippers, but it would actually make sense here. You know, we have not only the boots and the moon pearl to make all the water walking super easy, but even the bow, so splash relating to Zora ledge is something they could easily do.
Yeah. And it is something that can be a bit influenced by, let's say, the armors fights, because if you do that or spam a large amount of arrows, you kind of mess up something in the background that would make splash deletion harder. Could be still fixed, but not all runners know that off the top of their head.
No blue mail today.
At least not that one. There's still one more mail upgrade to grab. Okay.
Use that fake flipper from Tito to get the mushroom turned in as soon as possible.
Yeah. This does allow him to do a hard reset after to save the mushroom if there's nothing important on there. Tito, a big fan of the fake powder play, so I'm not surprised he's setting up for a potential
Dragon
mushroom save here.
Blue mail. That's weird.
Yeah, interesting, especially after he scouted it. I mean, this early on only 3 hearts, that blue mail does actually do quite a bit for you in terms of safety for early Dark World, but still, it is.
It's a significant time investment to scout it and then go all the way back around. Like if you did the race game blind and you saw blue mail, you'd probably be pretty happy. Like, hey, that's something. My opponent almost definitely skipped that. But to go for it like that after having seen it, that's unusual, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
At this level of play.
Yeah, and even more so since runners here, they know each other pretty well. They know how strong they are, and they know this is a close race. So even this long walk back there is something they should know is not. They cannot really afford too much of. So it will be interesting how that pans out in the long run.
And both runners immediately going to Eastern. I mean, it makes sense, you know, Crystal Dungeon and all that. I probably would have done South Shore first, you know, because while these aren't the hardest Dark Rooms, especially with a sword, they can be troublesome. Like, it's very easy for something to suddenly go very, very wrong.
True that. Maybe one of the reasons why Drangstra actually went out of the way to pick up the blue mail to make the trip freeze then that bit safer. It's there is the decision you can make to go to the South Shore first to maybe make your Eastern play safer. It could have the upside of maybe finding the hammer and or glove and or mitts to get Dark World access before you even have to go to Eastern. And if you then find the mirror maybe somewhere else before you have to head over to the area, you can combine Eastern and Port. So there are still many options that can happen here that would have made this play maybe even more attractive later. But you're not doing something wrong if you full clear a crystal dungeon. So
Nah, definitely not.
So far, nothing really worthwhile in Eastern. Those 10 arrows, sure, you could take them after a refill, after fighting Armors, but right now, they did nothing for us.
Here's our first dark room. Things already going poorly. At least we got some hearts on the way.
Yeah.
We're up to 5 hearts already.
That does help already, especially with the harder dark room on the way to the boss. You have no way of lighting the torch or see anything in there, and you have to hit this green Igor in
Yeah,
the dark to get the key, which
the back room is the troublemaker, yeah.
Yeah.
Like one errant popo bumps you and you're like, oh, I guess I just die then. Yeah, you can see Tito being extra careful here, going for the 2 heart pots in this room.
You might actually at this point be a little bit sad that you didn't find the bugnet already with 3 bottles, because if you wanted to, you could just hop down these pots here and catch a fairy or 2, just to be extra safe. Which in Tito's position, green mail 5 hearts, this can go bad very fast. Dragon with this blue mail would have had at least a little bit more safety. Tito nails the Igor, gets the key. Oh, takes it. Gets the pot, gets the door, and is through. Almost.
There it is. Yeah, the room can be really awkward in the dark because of the pots you have to pick up. You can't pick them up if you line up on the wall. So like you have to line up on the wall and then step off the wall in order to pick up the stupid pot. But of course you can't see if you're on the wall or not.
And all that while that second green Igor may or may not try to follow you and push you off.
Like
and
you almost definitely triggered him, but there's no telling where he is.
And once he gets you, he probably can kill you. So you have to be very fast if you get hit to recover it.
Yeah, like worst case scenario is the second green Igor is standing in the little narrow path where the door is. And you keep trying to walk to the door and getting hit and you're not sure why. But there we go, nice fight from Tito. Not the quick kill, but a pretty quick kill. But we didn't really find progression here. But hey, Crystal, nice, let's go.
Yep. And now Tito is going to the South Shore, the only place left. We have end logic text right now. We will find something that does lead uns further into the seed.
Alright, Tito opting for Dam over to Ice Heart Cave. Sometimes you'll see players like split up South Shore to avoid orphaning anything, but this is definitely the more common route, and just hope that you never have to do a Gina.
Yeah, and especially with Eastern already done and the potential of the water walk after doing this, think this is the more sensible play in this situation to go there. You could have done the other way around Mini Moldom Cave over to Agina, but that's usually a play I see runners make before they head over to Eastern. In case they have to go back for something else later. Picked up a shovel.
Hey, that's another match prize.
First didn't do as much good, but get a second try at one, so yeah. We need to find something. Either this or Agina or the shovel has to have something.
The shovel is definitely progression.
And that's a hammer, which is nice, certainly, but not progression immediately.
Alright, confirmed glove in the dig spot.
Yeah, but now about the spicy part. Mids are in Agina.
Oh. Alright, so Tito water walked over here to Hobo and is now going to fake flipper back for the Zora area.
This way you can check all of the fake flipper checks and have at least the fast way to get to Hobo. And you will get the water walk back if you leave Waterfall Cave, so you have also the fast way to Zora still. You could also decide to skip Hobo and go immediately here. Hobo is not on logic, so...
Well, neither is this. I think you always do Hobo, trying to think about like the objective decision making. I think you always do Hobo because Hobo is terrible to get to, even when it's in logic, but the rest of this is not.
Yep.
So with Boots, you have this really fantastic, super fast way to get to Hobo, so you just jump on it.
There are a few chances later in the seed with the mirror that you can route Hobo in from the Dark World. But,
yeah, it's all conditional though, right? Because like not only may you not get the mirror in a timely manner, but you may also never be on that screen.
Zora has a bombos for us, so yeah, that shovel will probably be checked next from Tito.
I mean, we already know that that fetch quests in the early game are way more likely to have progression than normal. And we got 2 of them, and the first one didn't pay off, so the second one has to. Also, there's like 2 item locations left in the game, so one of them's progression for sure.
So, do we just get the powder now? For the glove? We have a hammer.
Oh, it's 20 rupees!
And it would have been Agina all along. Looks like Dragon Strike also doing the water walk. The one detriment to doing Hobo here is it is still in kinda out of the way check, so it is 20-30 seconds that you invest for one item, similar to Agina or Ice Rock Cave. So there are a few runners that might opt to skip it to save time and take the risk that there's So, yeah. Could have happened, but not today, and there's the glove.
Oh, that's where the glove was.
So, few decisions now that can be made. Hype Cave could now be checked immediately to get those 5 items really fast. You can take the Kakariko portal to get to Village of Outcasts and or do the Skull Woodstep first. And Pod would have been an option, although maybe not as favorite or not a
Yeah, it wouldn't be my favorite
one.
play, but I think it would be an understandable call if somebody went straight to Pod. The problem with Pod is not only that we don't have the Lamplifier, so the Dark Rooms are a little bit more iffy, but also we don't even know if it's a pendant or a crystal yet. But it would be a very spicy play to immediately go to Pod.
We will see. It would have been a crystal, and we have Flipper Dungeon as pendant.
Pendant Thieves.
Yep.
It's always Pendant Thieves. This is the worst game I've ever played.
I mean, though, it is the green pendant, though, so it has an additional item, and with the way this pendant layout is laid, you can turn in the green pendant and then head over to Pod afterwards. Maybe you have found another sword, the fire rod or the lamp, while you were in Thieves Town or here in the village. So there might be reason to say, okay, maybe I do Pendant Thieves Town here. But now with the mirror, you have even more options.
Yeah, I think with the mirror, you are a lot less likely to do it. Like, you might do Back of Thieves just so you don't have to Death Warp, but the mirror takes that out of the equation.
Yeah, also you have now East Death Mountain accessible, although not in Logic yet, but...
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. If you get, like, 0 items in the front, it might change everything.
Oh, that's one. Only the bug net, but it is one item that's less that's in the back of Thieves Town. And we can now put those bottles to use if we come across fairies.
Yeah, he was preemptively menuing to mirror. Alright, so it was only 1 item in the front, but the mirror just gives us so many good things to do, in addition to what we already had available.
Looks like Dragon does his mushroom check.
You can make an argument that the mirror makes you want to get the green pendant even more, because, you know, we're going to head over to Pod, you know, sooner rather than later, and having the mirror means you can turn in the green pendant quickly.
Yep.
But it's such a huge time investment for a pendant dungeon.
Yep, that's the problem. These are all decisions the runners have to make on the fly, and especially with knowing the opponents so good and knowing how close this race is. Do you really want to make this big time investment into a dungeon that you don't need to complete this early in the game? Most runners probably won't do that, and Tito did obviously not opt for it.
I would definitely be worried about being up against Dragon Strike. I mean, how often do you have an opponent who can control the speed of the passage of time?
It's certainly not something you want to face, and Tito already knows defeat at the hand of Dragon Strike. There was a Cross Doors tournament in the German community which had the final of exactly this matchup, and Dragon Strike came out on top. Oh no, that was the the final was against Kato, but the semi-final was against Tito. I put Tito one match too high.
Really deep run.
Was the lower bracket finals. Tito's special of doing the Hype Cave in an unusual order.
Is that tactical? They lost him time though, because he's simply quitting. What? Why would you do that?
Like I said, that's a Tito special. He just likes to do Hype Cave different. Not really
I
sensible
think
here, but
he probably
okay.
was planning to continue on, and then he got the flute, and that changed everything.
Yep. It wouldn't have mattered if it was not for that flute that he wanted to activate immediately, because he was likely heading over to Palace of Darkness next
For
after this.
sure.
And then it wouldn't have mattered. He could have just opened it on the way out. But yeah.
We're still here, chat. Don't worry. Everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I mean, we can most likely guess that Tito's gonna activate his flute here. And then is
Yeah, and then he goes
probably
to pod. Well,
maybe
yeah,
that
I mean,
I would
he
say
might skip pod just because dark rooms.
yes, Tito is still on Greenmail. That's one big factor in that. And the mountain is
6
now
hearts,
in
yeah.
logic, so
I mean,
could-
I'm sure both of our runners could easily do all of the dark rooms in pod, but do you want to? Right?
yeah, the thing is with the turtles in the dark room on the way to Helmerstocking, when you cannot see and are still on Greenmail 6 hearts, if you miss one of the turtles, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because they kill you fast.
Yeah, the thing is, you need to have hearts left over to get through the very next room, because as far as I'm aware, there's no consistent way to know when to hammer to avoid that damage. And on Greenmail, that's 2 hearts you're taking just all the way to Helmsor.
I mean, yeah. You have to guess on the second row. You can consistently get the first row. Huh? Okay. I mean, the lamp can also
I mean
just be here.
the what am I saying? Whatever. Just ignore me. Blah.
Yeah, I think we were actually talking about the same thing there. I may have just not have worded it in a way that it clicked for you.
Are you calling me stupid?
No, I just
It's
called
okay,
my
you can say I'm
inability to word things, because words are hard. Huh? Dragon Strike doing Hype Cave time efficiently. Or not.
And he's going to continue on. Ooh.
That
So
is interesting.
Oh, he just hasn't done a map check. Okay. No, he's gonna. Okay, where are you going? So I don't think you go to pod here, because if you're just gonna pod, you'd activate the flute first. So are we going Pyramid Catfish?
That could be
okay.
Alright. Yeah. I don't know about this. I think that is not the optimal way to do this here, and Dragon should know that.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna activate the flute anyway, so to use it to skip a couple screens makes sense. Plus, if he saved and quit, he would have an opportunity to get to pod on full hearts.
Yep.
But that probably won't be as impactful, because there are hearts to pick up on the way.
Yeah, and with the mirror, there's no need to death warp, so being on lower hearts does not really benefit him, but although does he have the mirror though? Was he in the village?
Yeah. Right. Well, I don't know. You know, looking at his timer, because like his screen is like farther behind. Maybe he hasn't been to Village of Outcasts.
So if he does not have the mirror and is maybe wanting to death warp, this might be actually somewhat planned for, thought out. I don't know. It's a bit hard to guess.
I wasn't watching well enough. Well, how did he get out of the shooter room? Did he death warp? Or did he mirror? Like,
now that you mentioned
it already happened, but we weren't paying enough attention. Oh.
Oh god.
Oh, he walked out. Okay.
He walked out, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he doesn't have a mirror then. He would have mirrored. Alright, and he's setting up a death warp for you
Yeah.
here.
Interestingly enough, he just picked up a heart 2 rooms prior, so this is not consistent here. And
Okay, yeah, now he's not death warp. I don't know what's going on. Was it just an accidental bomb placement then?
maybe that looked so positioned though.
Right, it looked like a skillful swag. I'm gonna bomb myself towards the door kind of thing.
And Dragon Strike does definitely know how to play this game. He was the winner of the 2019 Challenge Cup, so he does know his stuff, and is generally a very strong player. So it's yeah, I don't know. I have many questions about Dragon's play today.
Alright, Tito going through the dark maze, getting bullied by the Kadangos.
Yeah. Another room where being on green mail can deplete your hearts very
Well,
quickly.
well, that no, because they do a heart either way.
Do the actual enemies do also a heart
Yeah.
on blue mail?
Yeah, the
Okay.
fire and the Kadangos do full hearts of damage on all mails.
Okay.
That won't be true though for the turtles coming up.
Yeah.
Alright, so Dragon Strike doing the hammering up here. So this makes a lot of sense when you don't have the mirror. Because this will prevent him from having to death warp.
If you have the big key there, you can just do the loop around through a harmless hallway and get back to the boss without death warping.
Well, the important thing is have the big key and a small key. I've definitely, you know, big-brained into doing the hammer jump and then realized, oh wait, I don't have a small key to get out.
Yeah, that's not the way you want to do that. Usually if you are throughout in full clearing the front, though, you should have the key in this kind of situation.
Yeah, it happens like you get like big key in the shooter room, right? And then you go to the right side and you get a key and a compass. And you're like, oh, I know everything else in the front is a small key, so I'm just gonna go straight to the back.
Yep. That's not the way to do it. Tito now in the third room, oh, taking the Wombos medallion. Clever use.
Should have used ether.
Ah, but it does not make this cool sound.
That's true. No, not two Bombos, Kaz.
Ooh.
Alright, so the thing is, ether is a faster animation than Bombos, so it costs less time. But it also one-shots the turtles, so there's no benefit to using Bombos. But not the biggest deal. And he got through the room without dying. That's the important thing.
Yeah, and it was also just 2 medallion users. He got the both missing turtles on the second try, which is not guaranteed in the dark. So, yeah. It goes through. So, just has to do Hime here. 17 hammer hits to mask. Just hold the sword out to extend the hammer hitbox slightly upwards to make this a bit safer. Now 8 arrows.
Ah,
Oh, yeah, you do not want to have
no!
that on green mail, and Tito does not have a ferry.
Sad day.
Decides to leave.
That's a very unfortunate time loss here, because it's going to cost not only the time to take to get back to Helmsword, but also to get back to Pod later.
And that's quite a walk. So you do not want to make an extra walk if you can't help it. And
then get bullied on the mountain right after. Salt in the wound.
luckily there's no boulder coming here straight from the right all the way over. Had happened to me already on 1 heart. That's the moment when you can see your demise coming and you can do nothing about it. But we have more options with the flippers that Tito is going to pick up here on Spectacle Rock.
It looks like Dragon Strike's home turtle room isn't going nearly as smoothly as Tito's did, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if your opponent also makes the same mistakes you do, then is anyone really behind?
Yeah. Also, using bombers here on Dragon Strike sides, but Dragon does not have either, so I had no choice in that. And got through. Blue Mail definitely helping there, taking not as much damage. And now Dragon on the Helma fight.
Yeah, 2-heart Helma fight. Not even going with sword out.
Yeah, the Blue Mail making here the importance here that while on Green Mail it would be a one-hit KO from anything here except from walking into the spikes up there.
Now it's just a 2-hit KO.
Yeah. But that was exactly the same setup for Tito with the 4 hearts on Green Mail he had, and oh!
Oh, and his first hit. Oh god! We're safe.
Just don't walk into the spikes 2 times now. Oh, no,
You
even
can't,
once.
actually. It won't let you take damage from the spikes.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
Once the boss's death animation starts, you are immune to the spikes.
That is good to know.
Well, that's a nice advantage to Dragon Strike there, not having to return to Helmasaur later. He still needs to go to Village of Outcasts, though, for that mirror, and that looks like where he might be headed. Well, at least to activate the flip.
Yeah, there's this thing with Penalties Town. Do you really want to go into the village? Do you really want to do much in there? But Dragon does not have much options. There's no way up down the mountain.
Like, this is probably part of Dragon Strike's decision making, right? To go to Pod first, because now, after having done Pod, you are in a better position to evaluate whether it's worth to go to Thieves Town.
Yep.
Or to go to the back of Thieves Town. So when he goes to Village of Outcasts, if he didn't find anything, like, he would definitely do back of Thieves Town, because he'd know that he doesn't have anywhere else good to go. But he will find something before the back, so unlikely to see that play.
Curious if Dragon decides to dip into the Skyward's front here. Yes, Tito finds the last medallion, so does not have to worry about any medallion requirements today. Certainly nice knowledge to have.
Dragon Strike does go to front of Skullwoods. I think this does make a lot of sense because of his route. Like, because he did Hype Cave start, but didn't go over to Dig Game. So this just makes the routing turn out nicer because you start at the top and go all the way down, rather than start in the middle and choose to go up or down. And there are Titansmiths.
Very convenient here. You can...
Yeah, now we can orphan items in Hookshot Cave.
Yep.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, you can.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they can hover.
Nah. Both of them can't. I'm pretty sure about that. I'm very sure about that.
The truth is, even the people who can hover often give up on Hookshot Cave hovering. Like halfway through.
Yeah, but just look, there will be the hookshot in Hookshot Cave, and you do not have to worry about hovering. As if the seat would ever be so nice.
I saw it once. It was glorious.
It's not a hookshot, but certainly a nice find. Because now Tito
Yeah,
can actually clear.
adds a little efficiency, yeah. Single dip skull.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good point. It also adds a possibility for a ice rodless Turtle Rock dip. Which I know everybody has different ideas about this, but my personal rule that I follow when I play this game is yes, Turtle Rock, yes, let's go.
I mean, Tito is someone that who would do that at times, but especially with Skullwood Snow being open, Ice Palace being potential that you can make, and so many options where you can find the Ice Rod before taking a look at the Maya medallion, potentially clearing that dungeon. Or we don't need to look at the medallion in Tito's case, but yeah. There's so many things you can do now before doing TR. It would feel very early.
Yeah, it's a very risky play. I'd say the odds favor going into Turtle Rock, because like the problem is not only that it's likely that there's something in Turtle Rock just because it's so many items and locked behind so many items, but also you're not coming back, you know? Like you'll absolutely do a bunch of other things that maybe you don't want to do before coming back because you're like, well, I don't want to go back to TR because I can't full clear it and I don't even have the hook shot yet, so why would I do that?
Yeah, on the other hand, if you go in there and find nothing, that's a huge time investment, and there's 5 at
Yeah, I
most
think
6 checks you can get out of it.
there's a lot more things to waste time on outside of Turtle Rock than the time lost from in Turtle Rock. But yeah, it is definitely a huge risk either way.
Yeah, the counter argument to that is it's just way more likely that it's not in Turtle Rock at this point.
Well, the ice rod, yeah, but that I think it's likely that there is something in there.
Tito on his way to Landmolars. Will be Crystal number 3 picked up. So we are not that far away from Go mode at this point.
Nope, just hookshot, ice rod.
Now the hookshot actually is just an item that you need on one spot in the seed, and that would be after Moldon 2. Which is kind of unfortunate because I'm pretty sure that neither of these runners can Moldon bounce. Which could potentially be a huge advantage in the seed if you have the ability to able to skip the hook shot.
Right, the hookshots only definitely need this usage is to cross the gap after Moldorm 2. There are 2 different ways to sequence break that, but they're both what's the word? They're both techs that not everyone has in their arsenal.
Yep. They are both not that easy in their own ways, in different ways. And they really come up in just very little situations.
Yeah, it's very uncommon to get a ton of value from hovering or Molder and Bounce. Hovering often has like a little value, but what the thing with the techs is when they matter a lot, they matter a lot.
That dragon is now heading up the mountain with the mirror. Does make sense. We'll get the mids. We'll get the fire rod, probably. It's the flippers. And yeah, this is the kind of seat where you really don't want to be on an ice rod hunt, because there's everything, of almost everything, at least part-wise, open. Can clear pendants, can do hookless swamp dip.
Turtle Rock.
Yeah, could do TR.
So when do you go to TR? Like if we find like the hook shot right away. At what point is TR the best thing you can do?
If you have cleared the crystals on the, that are on the bottom or not on the mountain anymore, so you didn't necessarily have to have done Hera, but would do at least Pot and Myra beforehand. So if I dip into TR, I can go to GT immediately after. But yeah, that is actually an interesting case in the seat. If I would have realized I would have been in Ice Rod Go mode and I don't need the hook shot, I would have actually done the TR dip the first time on the mountain, just in case the Ice Rod is in there, because then you actually are pretty golden.
Nope. Or it's just on Mopula.
Yep, so confirmed mountain double dip. You need to go get to East Death Mountain, get back down, grab the ice rod, and get back up for TR.
So doing TR first would have been fine because you'd get to save the portal. Is he in go mode now?
If you can skip hook shots, that's the thing. Because if you do not go to GT after TR, is it really that worth it to just go back up for Trinix to get back down again?
What? Was that a question to me?
Yeah,
what were you
kind
asking?
of.
Say it again.
If you do TR immediately and save the portal, and then get the ice rod down at Modular, is it really that worth to just to go back up the mountain again?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yes. Yeah,
also,
it saves like twice as much time.
Also,
save the portal.
How do you do that without hookshot? Probably the more important question, because your only way to get to the right side.
Yeah, that's right. Hookshot is a thing.
Would be a very specific tech.
What you do is you do a Death Mountain fairy revival hover, to save the portal that you left to TR.
That would certainly work, and since you do not need the hookshot,
well, the hookshot's probably in TR. There you go. Yeah. I solved it. It's solved. Don't worry, guys.
That would work. Yeah, that would actually work. Godmeyer, fortunately you cannot take it.
I think we can confirm that Tito would like to find the hookshot.
Yeah. Like I said, I know he cannot. anything, or cannot do anything of the Moldom 2 skip variations. Pretty sure he did take at least a look at Moldom Bounce, but decided it's not worth learning it.
I tried it for like a couple hours. I got it once with save states. I got it one time. So it's definitely not the most accessible tech I've ever seen.
No. There are a few setups you can try. There's the very popular one from Aussie that's quite demanding on inputs. You have to be very fast and precise in them. But it is, in turn, is very consistent. I have personally a setup that's less consistent but easier on the inputs. So it can be done, but still it's relying on Moldom RNG, and you have to do frame buffering to get the perfect frame, because you need to hit the specific frame. And yeah. If you have unlimited time, unlimited tries, both will probably be able to get it, but in a race situation, it's not something you want to just pick up and try to learn on the fly. Just struggling a little bit with the Maya Darkroom. Gets the switch now.
And the block there is really nice, because like if you throw up a block from the bottom wall, it always lands perfectly on top of the switch, but you have to be at the right horizontal pixel, like you have to step far enough to the right. And it's awkward. It's awkward how far away the switch is from the wall. It always feels different than what you want it to be.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I believe Tito skipped out on the rest of the Skullwoods front, which means he does not have silvers for the Switch Heroes fight, as Dragon Strike did show us they were in the pinball room. So it's actually likely that Tito will not get them in the seat anymore. Oh.
Whoops.
It will happen to you at least once at some time as a racer.
Per week.
Maybe not that often, but...
Speak for yourself!
Okay. Yeah, missing that switch, it's certainly something. If you have done hundreds and hundreds of those seats, you have some autopilot mode, and if you miss the switch, you sometimes don't even notice because you are so convinced you hit the switch. And then you see the pegs, and no, okay, nope, there was something missing.
It's weird, like I feel like the more often you play, like the more experienced you are, the more likely you are to make a mistake like that. Because you stop thinking about the game while you're playing the game. Because everything becomes automatic, and you're not even thinking about the switch being in the other position this time.
Yeah, I mean, you have done this so many times, you know how this works. Why you need to think about it? You just do what you always do. And then you didn't.
Where was Ether? I have no idea.
It was?
Oh, K45. That's right. Dragon Stripe skipped to game K45 and Stumpy.
Oh, yeah. That could be a problem. It's not as easy to route back in for Dragon as it was for Tito. Because I imagine the longer this goes on, Dragon would probably do Thieves Town at this point first. Hard to say.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, you get like Smith Sequence and Bombo's Tablet in with it too.
Yeah. True that.
Yeah, 3 items in the back of Green Pendant Thieves seems like a decent call if you're looking for density.
Yeah, on the other hand, Smith Chain would be those 3 items as well with Hammer Packs, then K45 and Bombo's Tablet in a similar time frame. Because getting to the back of Thieves does still take a few screens. And the items are far apart in Thieves Town at that point. So yeah, maybe Smith Chain might be more attractive. And if you want to maybe take a pendant gamble at that point, you have the option of doing Swamp after that. Which can also have 2 to 4 items in the front without a hookshot. So there are definitely options to do.
Oh, that was what?
Okay.
What was that?
So that was the hammer hit done. And there was
It doubled, right?
there was maybe still the splash damage from a fire rod shot lingering somewhere that maybe extended something. That
Yeah,
was probably.
I think you're right.
That's probably what was happened, because that looked really weird in that context. But yeah, that invisible fire rod splash damage can do stuff. Or can hit in places that you maybe didn't expect it to.
Weird game is weird.
Second try at Hime for T2, no problem. Meanwhile, Dragon cleaning up Mothula. And then has the decision to make where to head next. I definitely could also see an Ice Palace play here instead of the Thieves Town play. Because at some point this can become a question.
That's crazy. You're crazy. You go to Turtle Rock, right? Like you just go to Turtle Rock.
I mean in Dragon's place, not T2 now here.
Oh.
Dragon without either does not have the option.
Yeah, for Dragon Strike after this, he's kind of out of good things to do and has to choose something less good.
T2
for World Independence.
Yeah. On Tito's side, I agree. You go Turtle Rock. There's no other choice to make here.
Yeah, for Tito, like the only thing he has to do right now is go to Turtle Rock, and then full clear GT.
Well, he might not even have to full clear it.
Well, I mean, at least look for the hookshot in GT. I mean, and if he can roll all that out, then after that, then he'll look for it somewhere else.
Yeah.
But going anywhere else first is just crazy.
No. There are 6 guaranteed items here in Turtle Rock, with the Mimic Cave being added, where the hookshot catches wait for you. Then you have the few checks that can possibly have the hookshot in GT itself. And only if those turn up, then nothing, you go look somewhere else. I'm not sure about the actual potion situation of Tito. There would be a chance to do Spy Cave after GT if there's not an basement of, or not nothing in GT. Hookshot is not there. But on the 12 heart status now, I don't think he would have a chance to do it without Kane or Cape.
Yeah, not even like blue mail for doing bomb boost or hookshot to speed it up. I think, I'm not sure if you can do it with like perfect dashes. I think you can do it on 12 hearts. But that's very difficult.
I don't know about that, so I can't speak too much to that. I'm just pretty sure that even if it were possible, Tito probably won't go for that because I don't think he has trained that. If he did, I would probably know about that. Oh, Dragon Strike trying to do digging game just with 67 rupees. Not happening. Doing arrow game.
Yeah, you don't see this much outside of like entrance or inverted.
And with silvers to boot.
Yeah. Oh, there's the other mail upgrade. See, I told you there was something in Turtle Rock.
Yep. Definitely helps.
Too bad it came after all the chain chomp bullying.
Yep. And Tito does not have the powder yet, and he still has the mushroom, but for fake powder you do have to have empty magic, which Tito is a little bit away from. So yeah, these 4 hearts he has are the he has at the moment are the only ones he has available now. No easy refill possible.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could have like gone backwards or like forwards from the lava chest or whatever to get that pot, but yeah, then you're wasting time to get rid of your magic, to waste time fake powdering, to waste time getting the magic refill. It just all of that just it's really costly.
And if you can make it to the big chest, in worst
Yeah,
case you
do
can
death
just take a
warp.
death there.
Yeah, that seems way better.
Dragon gets a bit of love from the smiths. Tato going for the potential upside of skipping Mimic Cave. Checking TR big chest first in case the hookshot is just in there. No luck though. Was an item, but not the one he searched for. There is
Dragon
Ether.
Trick. Yeah, Dragon Trick finds Ether. Like 6 minutes ago, but we now know. All right, there's a death word.
Yeah. I mean, you are on blue mail now, which is a bit better than green mail for the laser bridge, but still, on only 4 hearts, you're likely to take, or you're probably taking a hit from the fire bars in the TR maze. So down to 3 hearts, and yeah, then can easily die there just by one.
Yeah,
Tried.
the death warp was specifically to have more hearts. Because he was on like 3 or 4 hearts and now he has 7.
Which is still not that much more, but it's an amount more that is actually significant here.
Oh, definitely. Especially in the dark here, because getting to the little refill platform, which has a couple hearts on it, is a little harder to do in the dark. Oh,
and that's the
3
second, that's the
from
third.
bars.
He would be on only 1 heart if he went straight after Mimic Cave.
Yeah, we might see the safety door here.
would actually make sense. I mean, you can take one hit from the lasers. Okay, getting the first chest. But, yeah. There it is.
So where is this hook shot?
That's the key. No. That's not a hook shot. And that's the death. Yeah, I was saying you could take one hit from the lasers, but if you fall into the abyss, you die. And then you would reset to the big chest, so that does make sense to take the...
Super MPTR. Builds Batman.
Well, one more chance, isn't there? Or did we see...
Well, on the boss. Well, I was just thinking about, like, if he had gone into Turtle Rock originally, then, you know, it would have been super disappointing. But yeah, the hookshot could be on Trinex as well.
We will see. This is a Master Sword Trinex fight, but with half magic you can always just do the safe Master Sword slash strat. Since you have way more magic than you need, even if it's not as fast as doing hammer strats or combined strats. It's just
I would have done like the
safer.
hammer strats on the left head and then just got real lazy and just spammed the fire rod on the right head.
Yep. That's the first phase done. Second phase. A bit more annoying, since you need a few more hits with the Master Sword. I could see a switch to the hammer here. Yep. Got 2 Master Sword spins in, so you'd only need 3 hammer hits. Solid Trinex fight from Tato here. And just bombs. So, we are in a very, very interesting situation now, since Tito has all 7 crystals, but not everything he needs to finish the seed. So, while he may go to GT and will look for the big key while he's doing there, he might actually leave at some point, even if he finds it.
Judging by his routing so far, you guys, I think it's pretty clear that even if Tito can bounce, he doesn't want to.
He is not going to. I'm pretty sure if Tito was intending to go and try to bounce in the seat, he would actually have bought at least 1, if not 2 bomb upgrades.
Yeah.
Because Tito is not confident in pulling that off, and you do not want to risk this race against an opponent. You know that, how strong that is. You do not want to risk that on a Molten bounce. You can only perform on rare occasions. Well, this chest is in logic without the hook shot, although it needs a big amount of keys. And yeah, I believe
the big key location will tell us whether or not the hookshot can be up the gauntlet.
And we do not get a small key here, so we will get to see a tile room check. Tito cannot advance to the right side, the way he played this. So you will look in here for if it is the hook shot, which could be. I think. Should be able to.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the same sphere as like Hope Room.
But I think if this is a key, the hookshot cannot actually be in here.
Yeah, so if this is a small key, then you could spend it on the middle door and have access to nothing else in the dungeon. So it would make the whole dungeon hookshot lock.
So Teto knows now hookshot is not in GT. He will go look apparently on the left side. Oh no, Cane of Burner, right? Spy Cave.
Oh yeah, that's a good play. Where, oh where could our hookshot be? Because it's not in GT.
There was the ferry. Tito did not catch it, but with that ferry, he could have also done Spy Cave without the Cane of Burner. Everyone who did not try it with just the ferry, though, I can tell those revive iframes, they do last longer than you would think they do.
Basically forever.
Yeah.
He did do the double fire bar room. Yes.
Yeah, so when looking at timers, I'd imagine Dragon is actually in kind of the same situation as Tato on the time, so this could be a very interesting race. Even if it does not look like it here. Tito is setting up for fake powder. Depleting that half magic bar does take a while, but he's almost there.
Oh, that's interesting. He's doing this first by itself because he hasn't done Smiths yet. Like he could have combined this with the Smith checks.
Yeah, but again, this is Tito, and fake powder is his pet play. So I'm not surprised he's going immediately for this. And well, that's a cape.
Cute game.
So now there are decisions made for Tito, or need to be made for Tito. You have 3 pendants you can do. Which one do you take?
I gotta think Thieves Town. Thieves Town is the best play.
Yeah, for the numbers, probably.
Because we know it's 3 items in the back plus Green Pendant, and then Ice Palace is also 3 items, but you know Ice Palace may or may not be hookshot locked in certain parts, so that could reduce the number of locations that could even be the hookshot. And then Swamp sucks, so
yeah, but
Thieves Town, definitely Thieves Town.
But I mean, Swamp is the dungeon you are supposed to get the hookshot in, so you know, yeah. I mean, one more thing both runners have available now is the Red Bomb, which we did not talk about or see so far, which is 2 more items you can get. If you have not been to Pyramid or Catfish, that's a way to route those checks in.
Yeah, you could do like a real conservative type route, you know, where you just do everything on the way, like Thieves into Smiths, into Swamp, into Pyramid Ferry.
But
into Catfish, which we haven't seen yet.
But that will take time, and if the hookshot is on the last place you checked and your opponent went there earlier, yeah, that's basically the race. So
unfortunately, that's going to apply to pretty much
Yep.
any route you take.
That is the situation after the left GT. When you go to the hookshot first, you are probably winning. So this is
Yeah, I don't know why people don't just do that. Just go to the place that has the thing.
Yeah.
That's what I would do if I was racing. I would just go to the place that had the things.
That's what I would like to do, but then the decisions I make are the exact opposite of that. So yeah.
Well, Tito's going straight to Pyramid Ferry, and likely to continue north from here to Catfish.
Yeah. I mean, this is probably the least likely place your opponent has been that is not Swamp Palace. Because, like you said, anything else except for TR after the position they were in. Yeah, you just go to TR and then GG first. So Pyramid Ferry was never really good time to do it prior to that.
No, definitely not.
So Tito may be betting on the fact that this would have probably the best chance to find the hookshot where Dragon was not. And well, even if the hookshot is not in here, that tempered sword certainly does help. Especially Tito there, who does not have the silvers. And it's not here.
Alright, no help on Pyramid Ferry. Gotta head up to Catfish here. We haven't even found the lamp on top of everything else.
Yeah, I mean, we had so much open though with that mirror, and Swamp has been practically open from the start. So
I don't think we found anything lamp locked though, really, right?
No. There was nothing, I believe that was.
I guess you can make an argument for Pyramid Ferry being your best option, right? Because that's the one place, of all the things that you have available, that's the one place the lamp can't be.
Yeah.
Oh, is this Swamp? Or are we going backwards Smiths?
I think it's Swamp. Knowing that Tito does like to skip some checks, and Swamp is another one of those checks where you probably expect your opponent to not have been so far. Okay. Maybe
Well,
not Swamp.
Almost, at least.
Almost first. But yeah. It wouldn't surprise me for Tito to go to Swamp here. Would certainly be one of the decisions he liked to make during Rise, but...
We found Tempered on the Pyramid Ledge. The Saints are in chat.
And this looks like Swamp has pulled it back out. Has pulled the mirror out. Yep. We're looking for a vanilla hookshot here on Tito's side. And this is certainly one way where you can see where player preference of routing style is coming in, because there were definitely safer checks to make with the back of Thieves Town, but Tito does like to play a bit more aggressively at times and to skip certain things, like the second item in Skywoods, and if he does, he usually commits to that.
Also, you might be thinking, well, Thieves Town is something my opponent might have already done.
Yep.
But my opponent definitely didn't do Swamp yet, so let's just go there.
Yep. But that are the mind games that come in at this point of the race, where we see neither has done the back of Thieves Town, but both can reasonably think, okay, my opponent may have just been in there earlier. It is the green pendant after all. There were 3 items in the bag.
Yeah, I think it's a lot harder in a 1v1. Like, you know, in a 15-person race or a 100-person race, right? You can be assured at least someone somewhere already made that play, right?
Yeah.
But in a 1v1, it's binary. Your opponent either did or didn't. And you didn't, so it's a pretty good chance that he didn't either. On
the other hand, there were situations where you could have gone in there and your opponent just might have. But he didn't have to, because you didn't, so your opponent also might not.
It's very, oh, what's the character's name? In The Princess Bride, Wallace Shawn?
I can't
I forget
help
his
you
name.
with that.
It's like, I know that you know that I know that you know.
Yeah. That kind of situation, and it certainly doesn't help that both of these runners have played quite a few matches against each other and know how the other is playing, so yeah. Dragon did try to go for a bomb jump up to the Starfast room, get it the first try, and decided to just check the hookshot locked, not hookshot locked check first.
Not even doing tile room.
That's 40 seconds saved, or somewhere around that.
Yeah, that's significant for sure. Oh, not doing spike cave either.
That's even more time saved. We know there's nothing in both of those.
See, it's easy to win if you just skip everything, right?
Yeah. Just don't skip the hookshot, and you're golden. And looks like we're getting an Ice Palace check. This is an interesting place to check, because there are certain chests that can have the hookshot, but depending on key layout, actually cannot. Yeah,
Right,
so
the hookshot can always be in the what we call the accessible chests, which is like the compass room and the freezer room and the whatchamacallit. Oh, you didn't hit the switch! No, Tito! And the iced tea room. But things like the big chest and the right side and the boss, those are dependent on the key layout, whether or not it is going to be hookshot and or Samaria lock.
And it can be that either the entire dungeon or the entirety of those checks can be hookshot locked. The powder certainly wasn't. So that fake powder play could have paid out in the seed. It could be that just the right side of Ice Palace is actually hookshot locked. Or it could be that a dungeon isn't even hookshot locked at all. There's just so much fun you can have with Ice Palace key logic.
Oh, the stream was doing so well, and now suddenly, oh, he apparently has the hookshot. Okay.
Yeah, so it's probably safe guess to say it was an Ice Palace.
We were doing so well. Oh, there's the layup. Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks, game.
Yeah, these checks were open up very early, especially since we found that mirror. We could have had them even without the mids. But yeah, we found pretty much everything the whole world were open, and it had to be somewhere. And Tito found this somewhere. And Tito going back up the mountain?
For Ether Tablet.
Oh, okay.
Because he got the book late.
Yep. Makes sense. Book is something you may not have found early, so Ether Tablet, one of those checks your opponent might not have done yet, because they were on the mountain before they found the book. Just 20 rupees.
Oh man, I feel bad about this seed because I definitely would have gone into Turtle Rock and got punished, and I definitely would have last located Ice Palace. Good thing I was not racing.
Yeah. I'm not sure about this seed for myself, because I am able to do Muldum bounce reasonably enough that I probably would have gone for it. So I might have had an advantage about, at least about many players.
That's huge.
But
In this particular seed, Moldorm Bounce is a giant time save.
on the other hand, if you have a player that does do the Ice Palace play earlier, I'm not sure I can confidently say I would beat them if they routed it very efficiently in. So it's hard to say.
Yeah, it takes a lot to combat against somebody who just goes to the places that has the things. How do you win against that, right?
I ask myself that question every time I look at the finish time of some races, because they just seem to know where things are and go there.
We're not doing Icebreaker.
Yeah, that's probably because the right side could be hookshot locked and Tito does not want to
But
check those.
it's faster to. Okay.
I know, I just try to maybe find a reason why Tito is doing that. So that would probably be the best reason I can come up with that for Tito here.
So I think what happened is Dragon Strike's connection isn't quite as steady.
Yep.
And then when you are being restreamed, it adds even more like tax onto it. Or like, I don't know. I don't really know how restreaming works, but like, so his stream might look fine because he's like barely has the connection to make it look fine, but then it doesn't look fine on the restream.
Apparently, at this point we even completely lost the stream, which is probably the most unfortunate time, right just before the Ganon fight happened.
Well, Tito's standing still, so I imagine he got done.
Yeah, time would definitely make sense in this case. Master Sword Silver was not the fastest fight, but Dragon did have all 4 bottles available and is experienced enough to do this on Master Sword with silvers. He has to. He does not have the cape, but that
It's
should
kind of an anticlimactic finish. But I guess it's over now.
The official race.
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
The official race time noted for Dragon Strike is 1 hour, 29 minutes and 56 seconds. And Tito immediately forfeited.
Well, we're joined by Tito. How you doing? GG.
Hey, GG's. I'm not
Fun
sure
seed, right?
Is currently completely unavailable, or if he's joining us later. I don't know.
We don't know. Like, his stream is like gone. We didn't even see the Ganon fight.
Oh, it's back now.
Yeah, there's some internet hiccups, so normally he's doing fine and could join us, but yeah. What is seed? I mean, pretty much jet seed-ish. You could get this pretty easily, and if the execution is right, just fall through the seed, and the only thing was the hook shot. He's joining us.
Yeah, I mean that was just the story of the whole seed. Like it almost feels like nothing else mattered. Like everything leading up to that moment was just, all right, well, who finds the hook shot first?
GG's Dragon.
GG Dragon Strike, welcome.
Oh, GG's. I'm so mad, dudes.
Why you won?
Look at my internet. It's garbage.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I died on Helma, and this felt so bad. I just bought the potion earlier to prevent those mistakes in the seed, because yeah, just waste 20 seconds to get the potion and be free to do anything you like, and don't die and waste some time. And with the death, it was like, yeah, maybe you should switch it to the gamble mode again. And with the layout in Desert Palace, it was like, nah, I'm not going back for one item there. And the same with Skullwoods, never dipped at first, and with the map in the first chest, I just decided to go in the back. And after getting all those items for Go mode, it was like, yeah, it's a hookshot hunt right now, so maybe in Turtle Rock, or GT, or let's do the lucky pin around the world and get the right location first.
And then you didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure who was first in GT and if there was any advantage for one of us. So
Neither are we. We also don't know who was first in GT.
We
yeah,
had to take guesses because you were first into GT on screen, Tito, but Dragon Strike stream
yeah.
was 6 minutes behind.
Yeah, all right.
So-
Yeah. At this point, it was like, just skip 2 or 3 things and make up for the death and be lucky or don't. And after sequence breaking with the powder, the cape, it was like, yeah, you never checked that. Let's go there and maybe Graveyard Ledge. Everyone hates Graveyard Ledge. And getting the book there was like, yeah, what now? And yeah, Smith Chain and Thieves Town, I thought this was the first thing Dragon would do at this point. And so I gambled for the other locations.
It was definitely hard to judge the time difference between you guys, because like to make Dragon Strike's stream like visible, they put him on like a larger buffer, so he was always 6 minutes behind on the restream.
Yeah.
Right up
Fun.
until he went to Ice Palace, he checked the first chest in Ice Palace and got the powder, and then it like skipped ahead, and suddenly you were fighting Aga 2. We didn't even know where the hookshot
Not
was. What
Mega
chest
2, but
was
it was Leno
Yeah,
2 or at least.
Yeah, it was White Side Ice Palace then. I just thought like, yeah, watch it through and don't ice break right now. Just going the normal way maybe and look if it's hookshot locked or not. And yeah, of course it wasn't. So I think, Dragon, you did the icebreaker and somewhere on the white side?
I did Icebreaker and it was behind the spike chest.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it didn't matter anyway, so yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
I thought the scene was pretty gross. I'm surprised you guys went to Ice Palace as soon as you did, because I thought Thieves Town just looked way more appealing. Especially with being only one item in the front.
Yeah, I wasn't sure with the book in my hand. It was like, maybe check the book, and if you are there, why not Swamp? I mean, it's hard to tell if Dragon did any mistake in the seed. As I mentioned before, the first one out of the GT had the early head start to check those high density locations. So I was like, yeah, he if he's ahead, he might be in Thieves Town and Smith. I just went with a red bomb and everywhere else, so it's like Swamp versus Ice Palace if those Thieves Town area doesn't pay off. And yeah, with the book, I was like, yeah, I'm nearly there. So if the hook is in Swamp, I might win this, and if not, I get a lamp. Great.
It's something.
Yeah. After forgetting to switch back the blocks and oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, just another ways to forget about.
Any thoughts about maybe learning Mold on Bounce?
I mean,
No.
it's like I'm getting 2 hover seeds in a year, and now I got 2 in the last 2 weeks, so yep, that's fine. The next 51 weeks are free, so nope.
Easy.
Yep.
good way to look at it.
Yeah, I'm not really scared about that. It's unlucky if it's like in this seed, but it's rarely.
Maybe better against opponent who also doesn't know too.
Yeah,
He
I
finally
bet.
died.
Yeah, it took a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it never feels great to lose, right? But I think personally I'd rather lose to somebody who just went to the place that had the thing rather than somebody who knows tech that I don't.
Yeah, that's totally fine that we both look for the hookshot, and yeah, it's like you got 5 locations with different item counts and density, so it's like, yeah, this might be the interesting spot. This could be the you got an item and you have to go there spot, and so yeah, it's pretty interesting to see it that way. At least I'm glad it wasn't in Skullwoods, Silvers, or in Desert Palace, because those 2 skips were like, nope, never going back there.
The Dragon Strike made its own skips, not doing Tile Room or Spike Cave after GT.
Yep.
Gotta cut corners somewhere.
Yeah, with the Spike Cave it was like, so, oh, a burner, I don't need the burner. Maybe for the iframes you're pretty easy to kill today, I don't know. And after the Tile Room it was like, wait, you could do Spike Cave right now, and with this the burner would be pretty handy. Yeah. That's Randomizer. It's a fun game, so you win some, you lose some. Especially in the league.
Okay. I'm asked to ask someone here about a purple chest. I'm not sure who or why, but
yeah, what are we asking about purple chest? Did one of you do something weird with purple chest?
I mean, wasn't there the hookshot in the last German weekly? I think so. Yeah, not twice. Right, not twice.
Oh.
No, that's not the reason. The purple check, all this area, it was like, so yeah, I think if with the dead on Helmer, and if Dragon played this flawlessly, he's the first out of GT, and he might go for the tendency in Thieves.
So apparently the question should have been asked to Dragon Strike. We are not really sure. We might not have seen that, but were there some mishaps happening?
With the purple chest?
Maybe? I'm not sure.
No.
Okay.
Right,
Your teammate was asking.
Confirmed crazy. Why are you so crazy, Rapus?
But yeah, for you, Dragon, it was probably a bit unfortunate that either there was eluding you a bit early in the seed, the way you routed. But yeah, you had the Smith chain to route it back in, so I guess that was not too bad.
Yeah, that kind of evened you guys up because Tito lost time in pod, and then you lost time getting ether later.
Yeah, I feel bad about that after I saw Ether in K45 there. That was horrible.
I think going to Graveyard Legend instead was definitely a fair play, because that's like super orphaned otherwise. But yeah, you could only go one way or the other with the way the items light up.
Yeah, and since pot was a crystal, I sure got to the right side first. And hopefully can route in with Smith Chain later, which I did, so that was good.
But yeah, that means now Team Hime won both races this week, so got finally those 6 points that were alluding in the first 2 weeks. How are you feeling now with that? About your situation in the league going forward?
Still not good, because we still have to play cross keys, and we all hate cross keys in our team, so that will be fun. But yeah, at least we got 2 wins. That's good. Against Tito again. That's not good. Poor Tito, no.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the league curse. It's transferring to us, or to me. I'm not sure. So yeah, it's rough to get not any points in the first 3 weeks, and especially in those one-on-one races where you're looking like, yeah, you might be a player who can beat the opponent, and it's going to be a close race. And yeah, in the end, it was another coin flip decision, and losing those always don't feel so great at all. And yeah, those Corp weeks were close, and last week against Schulze and Yoshi, Rogo and Magno played well, but it's still not enough. Yeah, there's like always a little bit missing. But maybe in the next weeks.
We are definitely hoping that you can get maybe one or two more, or one or two wins and get a few points there, and try to fight that relegation. Not get a repeated offender, Tato.
I relegate into the third league. I mean, after the first and the second league, it's like you have to descend in the third. Relegate. Looking for the Wolves next year. Relegation player 2 times. He's not allowed to play league anymore. I'm not sure. Yeah, but we will see. But it's always fun and it's great to play those opponents. I mean, those aren't easy games, and it's fun to have a tough one. And if you win those, it feels pretty great. And if you don't, yeah, that's random.
Okay. Koi, you anything you want to add?
Nope. Just nice hook shot, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, so thanks both of you for commentating. And who's the tracker today?
Roti.
I'm not sure. Ah, Roti. Yeah, I bet he's on the German server side. I think we're gonna switch over there for a short interview in German. So thanks both of you, and GG's, Dragon, and have a great evening.
GG's, Tito, and thank you guys.
Okay.
I think that does it for us.
Koi?
Everybody, thanks so much for watching the restream. They are, of course, doing the interview over on the SpeedGaming Deutsch channel if you wanted to listen to that. But for us, have a wonderful rest of your day.
See ya.